How do I fix slow sales on my Etsy shop? Maybe you had a really good Q4 and now you're like, okay, now what? How do I get consistent sales throughout the entire year? I'm going to actually walk you through a strategy that you can use and really a little checklist to see if you can, in fact, with what you already have, get consistent sales. The first thing in this strategy is you need to know, is there even demand for the products that you are selling, that you are launching? Because if there isn't demand in those off months, right? If it's a Christmas ornament, there's a good chance you're probably not going to sell that Christmas ornament after Christmas. I mean, you might, but probably not. All right. So that one there is not going to be something that you're going to be thinking that you're going to sell on a regular basis. So you have to start thinking evergreen. What is something that has good demand throughout the entire year? Now, if you can't find a product that is, well, year round, let's call it, or evergreen, well, then you're going to have to do something that I call holiday hacking. And this is where you would want to map out the entire year, all of the holidays or all of the special events that your niche would potentially buy products for. And then this way here, what you can do is 60 days, 30 days before that holiday happens, you're going to start launching products for that holiday. And here's the deal. The first year is going to be the building year. And what I mean by that is every single holiday, you're going to be launching products towards that holiday. Now, I know right now we just wrapped up Christmas, depending on when you're watching this. Well, my wife, even though she was super busy, she is already now starting to put up Valentine's Day stuff. Who would think? It's like literally days after the holiday, and she's already putting up Valentine's Day stuff. That's what we're talking about. You have to start creating a backlog. So this way here, even though last year we had some Valentine's Day stuff, well, this year we're adding a few new. It doesn't mean that we're going to add as much as we did maybe the year before or the year before that, but you are going to always add a little bit of fresh content for people that might have already purchased from you. But the very first year is going to be the year that you're going to be building your product lines, and you're going to be taking and looking at the holidays that pertain to your niche, and then from there building out products. The next thing that I would do for this strategy is I would make sure that I'm running consistent sales throughout the entire year. Now, if you start to get busy at a certain time of the year, which we did in fourth quarter, we actually reduced our sales. Okay. And I mean, reduced our sale percentage that we were giving off. Like we normally will give 20% off, and we'll kind of mix and match throughout different products through different holidays. But in Q4, we were doing about 20 to 25% off depending on the product. Well, when you start getting busier, you're like, I got to slow this down a little bit. That's what we were thinking because my wife was doing a lot of personalization. Well, we just took that discount and just made it 10% instead of it being 20. And that does slow down sales a little bit. And if you really want to slow them down, you just take the sale completely off. But if you want consistent sales, a great way to do this is to run these sales on a regular basis. And what I like to do is I like to do a new sale every 7 days. And the reason why is because number one, you will be notifying people that have favorited or followed that product or your shop. So they're going to get notifications that you're running a new sale. You're also going to be showing people that there's a start time and an end time. So they're going to see a little timer at the end that starts to say 12 hours left. And then that way that'll add a little bit of scarcity to that sale. And then what we'll do is we'll do them every 7 days and we'll mix and match them. Sometimes we'll do 20%, we might do 15%, we might do 30%. If we're doing a launch, we might go really aggressive, but that's what we're doing to get consistent sales. The next thing is running Etsy ads. So the reason why I'm saying doing the Etsy ads after we've ran the sale or we're running the sale is because you're going to have eyeballs now and we want a better chance of converting. So a great way of doing this is having that sale. So if you take those two and bring them together, well, now you're going to have a greater chance of increasing your conversion rate because, well, people like sales. All right. And they might even land on it when it's going to expire, which is going to encourage them to buy even faster. So, again, I'll just give you a little recap here. We want to, number one, make sure that the products that we want to sell on a consistent basis have the ability to sell on a consistent basis. Number two, we want to be launching products that are around the certain holidays for our niche. So this way here, we can have people that are searching for those holidays or those events. We can show up. And we want to do this 60 days before the holiday. At the latest would be 30 days before. Now, if you already have these in your catalog, they're already there. So that's good. The third thing is we want to start running that sale, 20% off, 25% off, something substantial. We want to run that for 7 days. Then we want to turn on the Etsy ads. And then that way there, we can start to get traffic to those listings. The last thing in this strategy is we want to fully optimize our shop. And the one thing that you cannot miss, you have to do, all right, this is what we do, is we are turning on what we call the internal email triggers. And this is something that Etsy allows us to have the ability to do. And that is, if someone favorites an item, they are going to also get an email that says, hey, take 10% off or whatever, right? Well, that sale could have either expired and now they can get the 10%, or they're not going to be able to get the 10%, but they're going to still get the 20%. But it's a way for you to nudge that person that had favorited that item. Now, I know people will ask, well, what happens if you have a sale running and then they get that discount? What's going to happen? Etsy is going to give them the highest percentage off. So if you're running 20% and you're going to give 10% for the favorited thing, they'll get the email, but you're going to only give them the 20% because that's active right now. Same thing goes for your abandoned carts. So if you have someone that adds it to their cart, but they don't buy, you can now set up a coupon that will then get sent out that will say, hey, we saw you were interested in this thing, take 20% off, take 10% off. But once again, if you already have a sale running, it's only going to take the highest percentage off of their order. That is the strategy. All right. Very simple, not hard. Something you can probably implement in, I would say, 15 minutes, half hour. And then from there, you're going to have a great chance of getting consistent sales. Well, hey there, thanks so much for watching that video. And if you like that video, well, there's a lot more where that came from. And I would like to invite you to our private community for sellers that are looking to build their brand. So if you're interested in joining us on our weekly live streams where we do free trainings and also a whole bunch of other topics that we cover inside of our private group, go ahead and join us inside by going over to brandcreators.com/group. And once you join us, you can ask any questions inside the group. And heck, you can even ask one on our live stream and get direct answers from myself and my business partner, Chris Schaefer. So go ahead and join us by going over to brandcreators.com/group, and I will see you inside.